Right then, hello and welcome. I should probably link the stream before we get going so people know what's going on. But today we have a series between Vertex and Geo here. Let me just announce the game. Alright, Yeti. Yeah, it's a bit awkward with all the different time zones. We'll try and get something sorted out. You might have to play like quite late in the day and really early for him, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. There we go. So yeah, this should be quite interesting because Geo is more of an AOE2 player, but I've played some practice games with him myself, and I think he's actually a pretty solid player. He's just been sort of learning Age of Empires 1. Vertex. I thought, where is Vertex from? Let me check. I thought he was like, oh, that's Morik, isn't it? I was going to say Macedonian, but let's have a look. I'm a spectator. So yeah, Geo going with Hill Country and Gold Mountain and Saharan Coastal. So none of the closed maps in this draft here to date. Just waiting for Vertex to join the lobby. Let's have a look. Vertex. Oh yes, it says he's from Peru. That's weird. So it should be the same, similar. Because you're in America, right? Somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, both first pick Shank. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you'll have to try and play him on the weekend or something if he only wants to play early in the day. I'm not exactly sure. That's a bit of a weird one. That'd be a Shank. Carthaginians early picked up by Vertex is a little bit surprising for me. Carthaginians were pretty strong on just like the pure land maps. Well, I guess they just have that strong early start that they had in DE. But I think in RTR, compared to some of the other civs, Carthaginians falls a little bit down the order. Yeah, Latvia, I would say, was definitely one of the two top picks. I think we're playing on the not the pre-patch. I guess it is kind of the pre-patch, the hotfix patch, where the bug for the buildings has been fixed. Yamata as well. This does leave Hittites up, but in the current patch, Hittites are a lot weaker now. They're still pretty good though with a +1 attack on both. Obviously, Phoenicians, Minoans, very nice. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to get up at 8 in the morning for anything, let alone that. Yeah, Minoans picked up though, which should be quite good for coastal. Geo does, I was going to say, need a navy civ. Maybe Hittite is that civ for him. And what have we got left? Maybe the Romans, possibly as a pick. Just trying to look at the maps here. Gold Mountain's definitely going to suit Latvia. Sahara, maybe Persians gets picked up here for the hunt bonus. What else we got left? Assyrians maybe, but I feel like Assyrians are chosen. Interesting. Okay. And Romans does get picked up by Vertex. So pretty, I don't know, I want to say even-ish draft. I like the Minoans for the coastal map for Vertex. Both players get Shank. I think maybe Latvia and it's very close run thing. I don't know who really got the advantage here. Yeah, I don't know if either player did. Latvia obviously very strong. I do question the early pick of Carthaginians, but like overall for the draft, I don't think it's terrible. Like I said, they still do have a very nice start, but I feel like that isn't as big of a factor in RTR these days, where the game tends to maybe sometimes you still get games decided in tool, but you get like longer tool ages usually. By the way, you keeping me waiting here, yeah? Just kidding. Just sorting out the server. Just making sure everyone's playing the same version of the game here. Do you mean that they can survive archers? I presume is what you mean there. So the infantry subs are quite strong now. I guess just because the slinger is much stronger in the Bronze Age now. Just need to. How you doing, Jesse? Just sort of getting Vertex sorted out on the correct version of the game. Wait, have I just not showed the draft the entire time? I think I've had it on the wrong screen. Oh man. Okay. So just to get us up to speed, Vertex had Coastal and Sahara as his map, Hill Country and Gold Mountain for G8. So no citadels or inside out or dark forest or anything like that. You can see the drafts here. Both players got Shank. Like I said, Carthaginians slightly odd as an early pick, I feel, but still a decent civ. But that did allow Geo to get Latvia and Yamato as two very nice civs. But then Phoenicia's Minoans. I think the only thing that really... It's kind of weird because a lot of these civs, like Greeks and stuff, are picked a lot for citadels, but because we didn't get citadels, a few of those got dropped by the wayside. I think we are pretty much ready to go now. It's just a few teething issues trying to get the right version of the patch. Yeah, no Assyrians. I think Assyrians struggle now quite a lot because of the improvements to slingers. Because the chariot archers only do 1 damage to a slinger still, before bronze shield even comes in. Die in tool, even hit. I guess Hittites are nowhere near as good in tool now because of the slinger changes. And yeah, it looks like they're both in the lobby. Yeah, I don't know if slings have been slightly overtuned. Like I remember when the patch notes, the August patch, were first put out, and like Unres was like saying that they gone like way over the top with the slinger changes, and might potentially be the case. I mean, it's good in a way, just because it means there's actually ways of dealing with archers, but now it's like slingers are really good into archers in the Bronze Age as well, and also now stone throwers should be a lot better into archers as well. Although I don't know how good the stone throwers actually are now. I've not actually seen any games played on the newer patch when it's actually working. Excuse me, frog in my throat. I mean, I think slingers were still decent now. Stone thrower scary, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think we're still even good on the last patch. They're just like the Hittites and stuff could sort of work around them and stuff. Because I don't know if they needed the extra bonus damage. I think maybe that's the thing that's pushing them over the edge. I feel like the 3 pierce armor is probably fine, because in the Tool Age that doesn't really change anything other than for the Hittites. And the game goes up now, so I'll get us into the game. But yeah, the extra +1 bonus damage to archers is like a pretty big deal. And it's going to be Romans for Vertex on the first map. And Geo going with the Shank. Like I said, Geo is actually the 4th seed in the group, but I think he's proving that he's a pretty competent player. And like I said, he is an AOE2 player. I don't know if it shows this ranking here. Yeah, you can see he's got like nearly 3,000 games of random map on AOE2. Probably does about have 3,000 if you count the team games as well. And he's no slouch at AOE1 either. I think he'd still probably put advantage to Vertex just because he's played the game for so long. And let's get us into Capture Age. So, yep, in the top left corner on the Romans. I feel like I've not seen that much from the Romans in the 1v1 tournament yet. I feel like ever since DE and RTR as well, they've sort of tumbled down the pecking order a little bit. I think in DE, where they had their building wood cost reduction nerfed a bit, I think that kind of put them back into a healthier place. I think it was 15. Was it 15% before, and now it's 10%? I think that's what it is. It's like not a huge change, but I think it's enough to make their like Stone Age, a bit more fair. Would have liked to see a bit more balance from the Shang in the Tool Age, but it is what it is. And is it the Romans tool? Is it the team bonuses that their ballistas and Halopolis get +1 range? I think is their team bonus now, which I don't think we'll probably see that come into effect. Because obviously, you have to get to Iron Age for that to become relevant. But it can be very strong at that point in the game if you get those units massed out. And yeah, so what have we got here? Vertex, I should say, just going from scouting. Interestingly, only Geo goes for the center here, and he finds 1 elephant though. I guess that's from here, because normally there's like 2 in the middle of the map that spawn quite close to each other. Or maybe it was just like the spawn of this map was quite strange with maybe the elephant was like here. I didn't see that, because you do normally get 2 spawn in the middle of the map, but Geo does just find the 1 for now. And let's have a look, see what we've got to do. But yeah, like I said, I feel like even though Geo has been proving himself to be a very strong player in AOE1, I think, like I said, Vertex should have the advantage here. Well, Geo has this, I've noticed he does it where he only builds the single house at the very start with Shang, because obviously you essentially start with a free house. So he only builds the 1 house at the start and then adds these 2 afterwards. But yeah, I mean, in a way it's kind of good just to have them like in one place, so you're not just like taking up all the space from your base. Can you fit a farm in there? That's a little bit awkward. There's a little bit of overlap there. You'll be able to fit a farm here and here, but my OCD likes me to have the nice little 8 farms around the TC. That's one of the nice things about AOE1 actually compared to AOE2 is in AOE1 the granary is the same size as the farm, whereas in AOE2 the mill's slightly smaller than the farm, which is like grinds you up a bit when you want to have your nice near time with the farm layout. Alright Tom, how you doing? But let's have a look. So we've actually got 5 villagers in the queue for Vertex. I would imagine some of those could probably get cancelled. 19 vills up for Geo with only 4-second idle time. Very nice for him. Are we going to see an aggressive play? Villager forward from Vertex. He's still making villagers. So I don't know if he's going to go for fast bronze here. It's pretty... I mean, he does have a reasonably closed map as far as Highland goes. Still quite open at the front here, though. But, okay, he does cancel all the villagers. Okay. Nothing, no ridiculous fast bronze plays. And very risky in Highland. There's this forward villager for forward barracks, perhaps. Vertex looks like he's looking for his paint. Unfortunately for him, the 50-50 coin toss of which way he decided to go has not gone in his favour. Is he just looking for his elephant? Yeah, he's got, unfortunately, it's up in the top corner here. I think he probably will... oh, maybe not. House and barracks. So actually, defensive barracks and barracks forward from Geo. So Geo going to be in the driving seat, but saying that his barracks is up a little bit late. He hits tool age before his barracks even goes up. So the advantage of going up on 19 villages isn't really going to come out here. And just find another 2 elephant though, which is going to be nice for him. And okay, Vertex is going to find his elephant in the corner now. So yeah, despite going up on 19 vills, like the clubbers are only just coming in now. So the AXA rush isn't going to be too potent. This villager is just completely in the wrong place, unfortunately, for Vertex. Which I guess is why he decides to go for the defensive barracks instead. Didn't just want to risk putting the barracks out in no man's land. Walls coming in, but the first clubber is in, and this is one of the things I told him to do, is to get the... I noticed when he was playing our practice games, he wasn't getting the armour upgrades, and I was just beating down a lot of his early military with my villagers. But that does come in. Clubman just sort of being a bit of a distraction whilst the walls go up, and those do. Obviously, Vertex still open on this side of the base, but he does have the double archery range now as ready as the AXA upgrade comes in. So those commitment to the infantry units maybe not going to be very cost effective here for Geo now that Vertex has gone straight into the bows. And Geo himself is going into those bowmen. I think it's just a archery range at home, plus the market. And you can see with the Shang bonus, a lot less idle TC time. So Geo does actually have a 2 vil advantage here. So, no. Where do those clubbers go? Oh, their axes are here. I guess maybe just trying to have a little look around to see what we could get. At this points like this, it is just worth just like killing 3 houses and stuff if you don't think you can get in. In fact, there's a house wall here, so you could try and punch through that. And just to remind everyone, we're on the hotfix patch where the damage to walls is fixed. Well, damage to buildings in general is fixed. And we do have the much stronger slingers, so it'll be interesting to see if someone does switch into the slingers. What's that emote there? I want to see. House wall. The house wall emote. Let me get back into the capture age. There we go. So our bow's now pushing out Vertex. And in fact, is this open? No. Actually, is it open there? No, there's a tree there. Actually, I think there is a small hole here. No, there's a tree there. Okay, never mind. Too much excitement at one moment there for me. Calm down. There we go. Axe is trying to push through the house. Should do pretty easily. How many military units we got at home? Stone wall going to go up behind. Is it going to be in time though? A little bit of a fumble by Vertex here. But it's forward as well. We just have some in defence here. Can just bring through the gate. Small force from Geo in though. Let's have a look what the eco's looking like. Still a very nice villager lead for Geo. That's the power of the Shang. So a little bit short on food for Vertex now. A couple of villagers maybe get picked off here. Axes kind of not really getting used to much effect this. Geo a little bit. I think he's just trying to target down the villagers. And in the end he didn't really get much for that. I think he was just, yeah, like you can see, literally 1 HP. A little bit unfortunate. And oh, Scout actually coming out. Scout's okay, so Geo's doing the full cycle. Like in AOE2, it's not uncommon to go Scouts and Archers in the opening. Obviously, eco-wise, it's quite different between the two games. It's much more of an investment in food in AOE1, which does limit your ability to try and get to the next stage quite considerably. We're saying that. Geo's still 6, about 5 villagers up as soon as this guy pops. Mostly thanks to the Shang cheaper Vil bonus. Interesting that he didn't finish that flat one house, just sat there on 4 HP. I'm sure it'll go down now. There we go. House. Yeah, so in fact, yeah, Geo's still pretty open, just with the big house wall. I'm not entirely sure where this is going. You would have thought he would have just sort of closed it up this way. But yeah, the Scout's going to be pretty good, and Vertex feeling forced to go for the Axeman upgrade to try and counter the Scouts hit. Yeah, the AOE2 walls. That's the thing, in AOE, houses have like something like 600 HP, I think, in the feudal age, which is the equivalent of tool age. I think they actually have a little bit of armor as well. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a good number of bows here though for Vertex, which when you're fully walled, the Scouts are only going to get minimal value. House does go down, but that tree stops anything going through. So yeah, he's just picking off these outer houses like I was saying before. But yeah, Vertex is fully small walled by the looks of it. Leather armor for cavalry coming in as well. So, and actually Bronze Age as well in for Geo. And again, that's just the power of the Shang hit. So I think he put himself very much in the driving seat. Vertex nowhere near really going to the tool age himself. But like I said, he does have this good massive bows, so he should be able to hold for the time being. I don't think he doesn't have woodworking in though, which is giving Geo the advantage with the bows there, even though he has much fewer numbers. And see how this fight goes. Scouts are going to be a bit of a nuisance here. Axes sort of trying to get in, but I don't know if that was a little micro from Geo there, or if it was just like the pathing of the units. But it looks like, yeah, Vertex does clean it up with the greater numbers. But Geo is now up to the Bronze Age, so interesting to see if any of these units in queue get cancelled. And the choice of units is just going to be cavalry for Geo. Obviously Shang with the faster attacking cavalry line. And yeah, so Geo in pretty comfortable position here, even though, like I said, he's still pretty much fully open. Only really the house walls of any significance. Fort Barracks will go down, and Vertex trying to expand the area of his town. Single Scout's going to be a nuisance trying to get the wall up. Vertex has to come back here. The first wave of cavalry comes in. And yeah, woodworking and Vertex has stopped military production to try and get himself up to bronze. Will coming in for Geo here. The axes are still... It's kind of weird because the cavalry have a bonus against axes, but the axes has a bonus against cavalry. Oh, is that open? No, let's see. So the axes are still okay if you've got a number of them against the cavalry. So yeah, first wave of cavalry is going to get dealt with here. Second wave's coming in. Looks like, in fact, a couple of waves here. This would be very nice for Vertex if he gets these walls up, though. This is still open on this side, though. One more cavalry unit. So I think, yeah, this is going to get away on 1 HP. A little bit unfortunate. Archery range just tried to plug the gap, I guess, but we're still just Vertex struggling to get those walls up. The cavalry do get in. Is there a gap here, actually? I think there's actually a gap here in the wall. I don't know if that's just my eyes deceiving me. Fairly sure there's a gap there, though. Well. And walls go in behind the house. Okay, these walls do come in time. Stone villagers warm themselves in as well. Currently just all in on the cavalry, and Vertex is nearly up to the Bronze Age. It'll be interesting to see if Geo switches into maybe the Chariot Archer soon. Archery range is going to be under pressure though. Might have to try and repair that, and does bring a few villagers in. Does have an idle villager there that could get called in for repair services. This archer range is definitely going to go down though. Might be able to pick off one of the cavalry before it does. Geo pulls it back. And it's actually going to be short. Swordsman has the choice for the Vertex here. Pushing to the cavalry is probably not the best option you want, but obviously it's an immediate unit you can start pumping. They're very beginning of Bronze Age. Cavalry are in though. There's going to be a few villager losses for Vertex. I think. Okay, gap there, so the cavalry do keep getting in. Walls are going to go up behind though in time. So it's just these 4 cavalry at the front in at the moment. As I say that, we're going to get the walls up. Just this last wall here. And yeah, there was a hole there, so that stone small wall does go up. Okay, so Vertex is clinging on, but 4 TCs now for Geo, 5 TC in fact, and in fact only 15 villagers left. I didn't see the villager count, so I think you've got to say this is Geo's game now. It's probably only a matter of time. GG's call. There we go. Very nice game from Geo there. I think possibly a lot of that you could say was the just Shang eco advantage, just Geo just slowly building up that villager lead there. Romans, like I said, not as powerful anymore as they have been in the past, in my opinion. And yeah, I guess maybe Vertex not expecting Geo to hit the Bronze Age as quickly as he did. But again, that's just the power of the Shang bonus. So yeah, 1-0 to Geo, and see if he can keep this going. This does leave Vertex with the Shang himself. If I go back to the draft, let me just... okay, so they're just sorting out the room. Let's go back to the draft. So Geo's used the Shang, and well, that Romans was Vertex's last pick. So you've got to maybe you argue that it wasn't too big of a deal that Vertex lost that game there. That does make me wonder where the Shang are going to get saved for, though. Maybe just hill country for Vertex. And yep, so it's actually going to be Vertex's choice of map now. And where are we? We've got a classic AOE2 Rex bug here. Okay, I think it's this lobby here. But yeah, like I said, Geo, very strong player. So when he gets himself in a good position, he tends to hold it quite well. Vertex didn't really seem, didn't really push anything against him like had that forward villager, but it didn't find Geo's base in the early game. Just went for the defensive barracks instead. Did sort of win out on the tool wars, but Geo was more focusing on the eco behind, and then that let him get up to the Bronze Age faster. Just trying to see what's going on here. Let me just check. And should get us into game 2 pretty quick, although it's just saying that Geo's said he's just going to take a 1 minute break, so hopefully that won't be too long. And don't know why Vertex isn't joining the group, but he hasn't joined, not the group, the lobby. But yeah, neither side going for the slingers there, despite the fact that both players were pretty committed to the bowman. So that was a little bit surprising. But Geo choosing to switch into the scouts as his counter to the bows. So I could believe the slingers might have even let him get him to the bronze up to the Bronze Age even quicker, because obviously the scouts 100 food, whereas the slingers only 40 food plus the 10 stone, but much less resources overall. And what map are they going to choose here? Let me have a look, see. They're still currently hovering on Highland, so maybe they're just deciding the map that they're going to play. And let's see what it's going to be. Sahara is the choice, so Vertex using his first choice of map. So if we have a look at the civs here, what would be the choice here? I'm not actually sure. I've not really seen much of Sahara, so I'm not sure what my preference would be. Gotta imagine Minoans is for coastal, and I think Shang for hill country. Maybe Phoenicians? Maybe Phoenicians for hill country and Shang for Gold Mountain. I'm not really sure. Lakviat, you'd have to expect that's for Gold Mountain though. And Hittite probably for coastal. Maybe Yamato coastal actually. There's a lot of different ways this could go in terms of how they select the civs. Fast paced civ. Yeah. Maybe just goes Carthaginians then. Just for the strong start. But I feel like Lakviat definitely has to be safe for Gold Mountain. So yeah, I'm not really sure what Geo's pick will be here. It'll be an interesting one. Just waiting for them to launch the game now. I guess I could play the actual soundtrack again whilst we wait instead of me coming along. Oh, I've just realised I didn't pause the soundtrack, I just muted it. So it's like an hour in now. Maybe not an hour, half an hour in. We've not been going for that long. And there we go, game's launched. So, okay, so this is a little bit unexpected for me, in my opinion. So Vertex does use the Shang here. Excuse me, I had a little cough there. Geo using the Lakviat now. And that does surprise me a bit, just because Lakviat is such a strong civ on the Gold Mountain map. So, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that one. Alright, Morik. I mean, there's so many berries on Gold Mountain though, Yeti. Yeah, I mean, Lakviat are strong on any map. I just think they're specifically probably the best civ on Gold Mountain, personally. But maybe Geo just going for the throat now. It's one of the civs that can sort of keep up with the Shang in the early game, I guess. Let's have a look-see. So Geo on the far right side as the Latvia, close by elephants. And on the left side is Vertex on the Shang. And well, yeah, I've seen this map a few times in the 2v2 tournament, but I don't think I've actually seen it played in the 1v1 yet. So it could be interesting. Sort of, just because there's so many trees and stuff, if any battles happen in the middle, it can be a little bit weird with all the elevations and stuff. Geo immediately running to grab the central elephants. Just going to pick both of those up. It's interesting that Vertex doesn't seem to be ever sort of committing to the middle of the map. He just sort of takes the resources around his own base. He's just choosing to push the gazelle hit. No, elephant. Obviously, this is a little bit of like villager idle time, sending it to the middle and the back, but I think most people would argue the extra 600 food is probably worth it. Little house walls again from Geo here. So that's interesting that he's actually done that again. So maybe just does the one house start every time. In fact, I might have just a little skip back here just to see what his very beginning was. Yeah, he just puts... Okay. Like, normally I put 2 on one house and 1 on another, but I don't know if that's just habits from AOE2 that I should maybe switch for AOE1. But anyway, elephants come in. He needs to garrison that guy, and he does so. So yeah, it's just the gazelle push for Vertex versus the elephant law for Geo for the time being. They're quite far apart on this spawn, especially as obviously we're playing the 3-player map for this tournament. So it's going to be... The early aggression maybe not going to come out too soon, or if it does, it might be a little bit difficult for them to find each other. But yeah, this map is very open around your base, so I guess it is just a question of who finds who first might be the how this game goes out. Just reading the chat. So yeah, Vertex, Geo just had Shang, Vertex had picked Romans. I mean, Geo did play very solidly, but I think a lot of it was to do with just like the cheaper villager bonus, so the Shang just let him build up a villager lead. And I don't know if we're just hunting for elephants at the moment. I do have a forward villager here. It looks like an attempt at forward barracks. See how close Vertex can get. If he's, because last time he sort of missed and he just decided to put the barracks at home. I guess maybe just because he saw that Geo was up to the tool age a lot quicker. I think Geo's actually going to click up pretty soon. Quite nice idle time again, only 12 seconds. And slightly longer as the Shang hit. 24, not a massive difference. But Geo very good with the early eco. Switching a lot of his villagers to wood now, which is pretty normal. And yeah, Vertex still just like on the hunt. Villager goes out for Geo now. I don't know, again, this is just searching for extra resources. He just find his another set of berries. I think you do have 2 patches extra, or maybe even 3 actually. I'm not exactly that familiar with the Sahara map spawns. I don't know what the villager's doing here. Just comes bumbling about. Now Vertex, I think they're going to see each other at the same time here. He's going to see the gazelle. So, oh, Geo's going to spot this now. Oh, wait, he just spotted that ages ago. I guess it's maybe just the TC range. So forward villager is going to get spotted, unfortunately. So barracks is again being placed defensively. And back straight into archery range for Geo. Maybe slight overcommitment by sending 2 villagers here. Yeah, that's probably wiser to bring one back. In fact, this villager probably could just get pulled back. I guess he just wants to keep vision on this guy. But, I mean, this one villager doesn't get the barracks down, but it is serving as a bit of a distraction to the early clubs. And the clubs are slowly catching up. I don't know if Vertex just sort of gives this villager up, just like, well, I think it's just too far away for it to do anything anyway. So yeah, that's first blood going to be to Geo. Axe upgrade coming in. It's got a long way to go. So, I mean, you can expect that Vertex will sort of be in this vicinity, but that's quite a large area to try and cover. So we'll give, in fact, yeah, we go Vertex going straight up to bronze. And so this probably is going to catch Geo off guard here. And on the wood and the gold. So maybe just yet go on the gold to get the cavalry going. And yeah, stable is already down. Just a single scout coming out to get that vision. Axeman could cause a little bit of an annoyance here, although small walls are already in, so maybe not. Oh, he's going to sneak on the gold though. Ah, that is unfortunate. Okay, it's just the one villager that's going to get caught out here, but that villager is going to go down. But this should signal to Geo that a fast bronze is in the way, because obviously nothing in Tool Age costs gold. Game paused. Game paused. No, it's 1-0 to Geo at the moment. Voyant. Yeah, Geo on the first game picked Shang against Vertex's Romans and had a pretty nice eco, got to the Bronze Age a lot quicker and just got the cavalry out. And Vertex's had some houses in his walls that he hadn't walled up behind, and some of the early cavalry got in. Didn't give him a chance to catch up. Well, now Geo is still completely open, so if Vertex does get up and get a couple of cavalry out, they're going to be able to do a lot of damage here. But I see what you're saying, Yeti. Like I said, he should realise at this point that Vertex is up to bronze, so it's interesting that Bowman are still in the queue here. And let me just check. Okay. Looks like Geo unfortunately dropped from the game. Okay, sorry, just trying to sort the players out here. I don't know why Vertex is so confused. I feel like he should be pretty familiar. Right, yeah. Unfortunately, because we're on the hotfix version of the game, you can't actually save the games, so we're going to have to restart the map, which is pretty unfortunate. Okay. That's a little bit, like I said, unfortunate, because it would have been quite interesting to see how this panned out. As Vertex is most of the way to the Bronze Age. But as Yeti was pointing out, quite a large villager lead for Geo. Obviously, part of that is that the TC has been working on aging up, so Vertex would catch up a bit on the villager count. But it would have been interesting to see how much damage Vertex could get in with those early cavalry. Did only have the single stable for the time being, but I'm sure he would have been able to get another one down pretty soon. But yep, unfortunately, we're going to have to restart the game for this one. As like I said, on the hotfix version of the game, you can't save. Yeah, but like he would have had to build an. No, he did have an archery range down already, didn't he? But the bows had a long way to get to the gold, so I think he probably would have had enough gold to get out at least 2 cavalry, and that probably sweeps up any early bowmen, I reckon. So I think it was more of a question, like you said earlier, if Geo got up to bronze in time or not. I think would have been more the thing. And yeah, they're just setting up the lobby again. And I guess we'll go back to this little view here for now. So you're not just looking at the Capture Age stream. I think that QR code is very much out of date now. I think it was like an invite for a few weeks or something like that. But it's been a while since we set it up. I just need to let the cat out. There you go. Off you go. See you, cat. Alright, say my name. What is going on here? Okay. Having a little bit of issues with the lobbies. Oh, okay. Jesse's just sent me like the updated versions of the images, so maybe I couldn't get those changed. Well, I'll probably have to sort that out afterwards. I'll try and get those changed for next time, Jesse. Oh, I've got the stupid like fire bug from Capture Age. For sometimes it just like at the end of the game it just makes like a burning noise and it just doesn't go away unless I restart the game. For some reason I'm seeing like 1 million lobbies for Geo and Vertex here, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. It's currently 1-0 to Geo, so Geo is actually ahead in the series. First map was obviously Highlands, and Geo had the Shang, and Vertex had the Romans, and Geo just sort of got a bit of an eco advantage during the Tool Age and got up to bronze first. Just got the and the early cavalry managed to break through some house walls. But yeah, this game is going to get restarted from the beginning because no saves. So we will be back to the start again on Sahara, Shang for Vertex, and Lakviat for Geo. It'll be interesting to see if Vertex does go for the fast Bronze Age again. Let me get back to the correct screen. Use market, yeah. Well, I think a lot of the AOE1 players still aren't even like familiar with being able to do the trade for the market yet. A lot of the people don't even realise you can even do it. But the other thing is obviously the trade rates at the market in AOE1 are like really not very good. So I guess maybe if you could get a really good short-term advantage by doing it, then it's worth it. But otherwise, you lose a lot more resources than you do in AOE2. But anyway, okay, so it's actually quite a similar spawn in terms of that they're both in the corners here. Vertex is actually on the right side, whereas Geo is on the left side this time. And it'll be interesting to see if Geo just goes to try and grab those early elephants again. It looks like he probably will do. A couple of houses on the left side this time. So this time we don't see the nice Geo house walls. And yeah, Vertex just going with the approach of just sort of searching around his own base to start with. Whereas, like I said, Geo is going straight to the centre. I think there's always 2 elephants pretty much right in the centre of the map, if my knowledge of Sahara is correct, and that's why Geo is going straight to the middle here. Yeah, you can't restore because we're playing on the hotfix patch to get around the bug for the walls and buildings. Because in the live version of the game, all ranged units are doing way too much damage to buildings. Oh, I got the crocodile in there. That's going to make things a little bit awkward. I was saying that the elephants actually quite nicely block the crocodile off, so Geo should be fine here. And maybe you even get the crocodile in for an extra little bit of food there. It's not normal that you use the crocodiles for food, but they do have some on them. And he's going to grab this elephant, I imagine, as well. Does Geo see his other elephant? So actually Geo is like basically just sorted. He didn't see that one there though. And Vertex still trying to find. He's done his gazelle push. He's very close to find that elephant. Oh, you hate to see it. He's got to find this, right? He doesn't just go around it. Okay, thank goodness for that. And maybe trying to find some of those elephants in the middle of the map. Yeah, Geo's already taken a couple of them. I think it'd be... I mean, I guess there's some chance he finds those, but depends how willing he is to send that... how much idle time he's willing to spend on that villager searching around. Unless this, again, maybe this is just trying to attempt at forward barracks again, as we're getting to that point in the game. Idle time pretty good for both players, only 3 seconds for Vertex. And Gazelle push coming in for Geo as well now. Which arguably he doesn't even really need at this point, but it's good to get those food sources in early. Storage pit on the first wood line there. So yeah, this forward ville is just going to be trying for the forward barracks. It's actually a second ville as well. And Geo's actually looks like he's probably going to be able to click up. Okay, no, it's probably going to be about the same. A little bit more food for Geo here. So I guess just the faster gather berry bonus is just put him a little bit ahead, and he does in fact click first. And it's going to be a small amount of idle time. So 10 seconds, the advantage for Geo here, getting up to the tool age. And okay, oh, you see the house there, so he's just going out wide to make sure the villager doesn't get spotted this time, because last time the forward villager did get caught out by Geo. So maybe it is just going to be full aggression now, and barracks going down here, so this might be an archery range at the back. Geo, I think he's just trying to find his second elephant, which is over here, but this is actually... There's no way. Wow, okay. So he finds that villager there, but he doesn't find the barracks villager though. So maybe this gives Geo a bit of a false sense of security, because it might be that he's trying to find that barracks now. But the barracks is obviously here, as we see it. Geo's barracks is over here though, so it's not too far away for shenanigans. Villager, not sure what the plan is here. And tool age does come in for Geo. He's going to try and nick. He's going to try and steal this elephant, actually. Archery range. Right. Ooh, that's a little bit of a fortunate misclick by Geo there. I think he was trying to right-click the villager. Accidentally clicked the elephant. So, in fact, can he even hit this? Okay, he does. Archery range right on the face, though. This villager. Okay, archery range does get denied, unfortunately. A little bit too greedy with the archery range positioning. Clubber's coming in, armor upgrade, plus AXA. So yeah, the armor upgrade's already in, so these villagers aren't going to do much damage. There's garrison in the town centre. 2-1, and obviously Geo lost one to the elephant as well. AXA upgrade about to come in now. So, yeah, archery range does get cancelled as well. So this probably could have been a much bigger play than it ended up being. Archery range, oh, I'd say, okay, the archery range for Geo. Maybe the archery range should have just come down here, and I'm not entirely sure why Vertex felt the need to put the archery range like right next to the town centre there. That seemed a little bit too much. Probably should just come down here. And does Geo have both the upgrades? No, he doesn't have any upgrades, so this should be a pretty easy win for Vertex here. Obviously he's focusing on the bowman now, but Vertex could just switch into slinger here. He's going for the watchtower upgrade. He sent another villager forward, and is this just defensive? Curious. I'm not entirely sure. Was that a misclick? Can he meant to get walls there? I'm not 100% sure. Granary for that. Not entirely sure what the... Yeah, now he is going slingers, which is good to see. I'm not entirely sure why the watchtower was researched though. I'm just trying to see if he actually is placing one down anywhere. I'm a little bit confused by that. But slingers, yep, you can see here they have the 3 pierce armor now, and they do have the extra 1 bonus damage. Obviously the 3 pierce armor doesn't really mean much until the Bronze Age. It's more of a just to stop the Hittite bowman from being too oppressive in the Tool Age, is that bonus. Geo's actually going to lose both these clubmen here. I don't know why Vertex is not attacking the AXA there, the clubber there, sorry. And decent number of bows for Geo now, and you can see again, quite similar to game 1, the Shang bonus just giving you that extra edge in the eco, as well as obviously Vertex managed to kill a few villagers, I guess. Quite a few idols now as well from Geo. Slingers just being a nuisance. And okay, watchtowers are going up now, so it was just for the defences. There's quite a few idle... Excuse me, a few idle villagers. You can see the sort of slashed area here means these villagers are idle. Geo sorts out his economy now. Another AXA in. And stone mining coming as well for the extra attack and range on the slingers, obviously. I'm not sure, did the... no wood cutting for Geo yet, but he does have a decent number of bows trying to push forward here, but this does leave him exposed on the backside. Scout does come out, but obviously Axe is pretty good at dealing with the scouts if Vertex is paying attention. I don't know what this one Axe has just been on the run for ages. I guess he's just trying to run away from these bowmen. Scouts obviously do bonus damage from bowmen, but that doesn't include slingers, because slingers are just a ranged infantry unit. And this little forward base is actually going to get spotted by Geo here, so I think most of these villagers are probably just going to go straight down. There's a singular slinger here. Again, Vertex does have the eco lead for the time being. Yeah, Vertex are a little bit all over the place at the moment, and definitely military lead for Geo here. And yeah, all his forward villagers get taken out, which does somewhat even out the villagers' numbers. Still a slight advantage for Vertex here though. Watchtowers are going to be pretty useful against the bowman. So I wouldn't have thought too much damage gets done by the bows here. As long as Vertex is actually paying attention. There's a little pocket here that you can see. I imagine Geo probably has, well, I was going to say it has these ranged indicators turned on, but it currently seems like he's not paying attention. But there you see now he's in the little pocket here, where the archers can just shoot uncontested, and the scouts potentially going to get in now as well. Little stone wall there, yep, that's very nice. This one villager's going to go down, unless a little bit of quick walls from Vertex. Let's keep the villager alive. And Crocodile getting involved there. But it looks like there's no... Oh, Bronze Age actually is coming in for Vertex. I had missed that. I was going to say no more military units coming out, and that's why. Archers, Bowman still being a nuisance. Watchtower not going up quite yet. So this is going to be a little bit tricky for Vertex for the time being. Geo is actually building up the food to get up to bronze himself. And yeah, Vertex losing a lot of villagers now, down to 29. And this singular scout should be able to clean up most of the bows here. No armor upgrading for the scouts though. But then again, no armor, just no upgrades at all for Geo. Yeah, like I said, I've played a few practice games against Geo and noticed he does skimp out a bit on the storage pit upgrades. Yeah, so his scout just doesn't have the armor, so it can't be fought off by the villagers. Got a single axeman. There's just that one guy that was just chilling going through the base. Bronze Age is in for Vertex now, and he does have enough gold for a single cavalry. How many? He's only got the one stable at the moment. A wheel coming in as well. But yeah, Geo on the way up to the Bronze Age himself. In fact, this gold isn't the most efficient. The storage pit's a little bit far away from it. The archer armor coming in as well now, which should mean this cavalry has a little bit more of a difficult time dealing with these bows. Quite brave to dive under the tower there with the bowman. Probably going to lose a couple of those, maybe just the one for now. Cavalry going in though. Should be able to pick off a few of these archers here. Just going for the one for now. But yeah, say how many vil lead at the moment? 9 as Geo hits the Bronze Age himself. And what's going to be the unit of choice here? Got a lot of archery ranges in, so let's go for a couple of cavalry for the time being. In fact, he's got 7 on gold, so I don't know if this is just cavalry for the time being, and actually Geo using the market a little bit, get some more gold in the bank. So maybe Geo just going a little bit unconventional for the Latvia and just sticking on the cavalry. Yeah, just this watchtower here not going up is causing all kinds of problems for Vertex. He does have the wheel in now, which Geo is not researching yet. Hopefully he does remember to do that. And the pesky cavalry in the background, back of the base there, does get dealt with. Probably like this one as well. Just trying to look at the upgrades. +2 armor in for Geo, so he actually has more of the techs in at the moment. And yeah, interesting that Geo's just going for the cavalry at the moment. Obviously, both archers require tech if you either go to the chariots or the compies. And yeah, wheel coming in now. Vertex kind of throwing away some of his units here, though. Not the most effective. This cavalry here should clean up his base, though, now. Yeah, I was sure. Yeah, it's just that he had like 5 archery ranges down already, so I was a little bit surprised that he didn't go like immediate. Well, he should have gone immediately for wheel in either case, regardless of archers or not. but he is getting all the archery upgrades in. So I don't know exactly. There we go, chariot archers coming in now. Camels for Vertex. I don't know if that was just like a misclick. Or maybe it's an anticipation. A couple of cavalry in here going to be causing a nuisance to the eco though. Just going, where are they going? They're just going on a little scout tour at the moment. Why can't I'm trying to get Geo's point of view? There we go. Camel actually coming up clutch here. This watchtower still hasn't been finished. 10 villagers ahead now for Geo. Still only on 1 TC. Again, just Vertex just sending in single cavalry units and then just getting them killed. Just trying to find to see if I can see a government centre, and it's in fact here. Chariot archers coming in now though, and Vertex, I guess, sort of has control of his base now, but he's 11 villagers behind at this point. Metalworking coming in for the camels. And I didn't realise Vertex had sent out some more villagers here. They're going running all the way back. Clubman's getting involved here. So I don't know where that guy's come from. He was just left over from some of the Tool Age shenanigans. But yes, it's still sort of hanging the balance, but you've got to say advantage for Geo for sure at this point. None of the wood upgrades actually in for Vertex here means there's no extra range on the towers. In fact, let's have a look at the upgrades here. Yeah, just the melee ones for infantry especially. So it doesn't even have any of the cavalry armour, obviously. The armour doesn't mean anything against the chariots. Chariots going in though. Priest, a little bit of an unusual choice against the chariots that resist conversion. So I don't know why. I don't know about that one personally. Camels should be able to chase this out though. And what are we even shooting at here? It's just shooting a farm. But yeah, Vertex would majorly benefit from the woodworking upgrade just so that this tower network's covering a lot more area. And the camels, I think, are going to clean this up at the back here. Still a large villager lead for Geo, and he actually gets his second TC up now. And he's actually got quite a lot of resources in bank. A lot of food. I don't know if he's just trying to build up towards the Iron Age. Vertex, like I said, still fighting, but he's a little bit trapped in his corner now. There's just as few cavalry units added into the chariot archers, it's making it a little bit awkward. Trade cart misclick there from Vertex, unfortunately. I don't know, he was just trying to do an unrestricted with his trade boats and the others in his series earlier in the tournament. Woodworking only just coming in now. I feel like that upgraded probably should have come in quite a long time ago. Not only for towers, just for his wood eco in general. Ability coming in. Unfortunate misclick of the trade cart here. Built quite slowly actually. Still has chance to see that in Calcutta. I'm not sure exactly what the cost of a trade cart is in AOE1. I don't know if it's the same as AOE2. It's like 100 wood and 50 gold in AOE2. So just coming forward now though. And we're going for forward stable. And I guess no, still just spending all his resources, so it's not working towards the Iron Age just yet. Trade cart just chilling. And 70 HP. Maybe we send that to Geo's. Where's Geo's market? There we go. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, he does see the market. Couple of extra TCs, but now Geo's on 4. And like I said, one of them was actually a siege workshop, so stone throwers coming out now. I'm not really sure. I guess the priests to deal with the cavalry, but it's not a very good option into the chariot archers. Is tower going to go down here? This might be worth repairing. And yeah, there we go. Villagers do come in now. Ooh. Tower is going to survive just about. And trade. How much line of sight does this trade cart have? Not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's get some scouting out of it at least. Again, a couple of cavalry forward from Vertex, but does he manage to snipe a villager or so here? Okay, so actually getting some value out of his cavalry this time. Villager lead pretty big now though, 22. And does Vertex spot the villagers here? No, he doesn't see this. Another sentry tower coming down, though. And Priest does get a co-advantage on the cavalry that are just diving into the back line here. So Vertex has given up on the camels, which is kind of curious because I think it was actually a pretty nice option into both of the units Geo was pulling out. Obviously, cavalry a more general, all-round strong unit. Military advantage still. I don't think Vertex has really managed to build. That's the thing. He just keeps sending like these units in one tower forward. Is this going to get denied? I think it probably is going to do because the towers take quite long to build. Yeah, so this is going to get fully denied. Interesting idea by Vertex to try and get some map control back. Forward. Forward foragers from Geo. I mean, this should get swept up now. Under the tower as well. A little bit BM. Is that conversion? Well, I don't know what that arrow of the head was. I don't know. I was thinking maybe the priest was coming in. So yeah, I mean, Geo with a definite advantage. But again, I've said it many times this game, Vertex sort of clinging on. Is KT playing Vertex? I'm saying nothing. Couple of stone throwers in now. They're both in the siege workshop. So I'm not exactly sure when Geo's going to pop those out, or if he's just kind of forgotten about those momentarily. Oh, Camel's coming back in now. I think this is a good call. Which, yeah, HP is pretty similar to the cavalry. And should work into both set of units here. If you can get the mass going. Yeah, almost double the villager count now. Oh, I don't know why he's got him in the group with the priest. It's going to take way more damage from the chariot archers now. I think the Geo actually did him a favour there. I mean, sentry towers are doing work, but the stone throwers are out now. And yeah, 10 range to the 8. Although he's kind of walking in. Do have the 3 Prius armor now though as well. So I think this push might be the deciding moment of the game. As Chariot's coming out now. Yeah, Vertex just never been able to build up the military count above about 12 or 13. Stonethrower getting a pretty good hit on the cavalry there. And these towers are going to be taken out pretty quickly with the stone throwers as well. Yeah, Geo just has to keep these stone throwers protected, and he can just push in whenever he likes after that. And I think this is probably GG now. So it's actually going to be 2-0 to Geo at this point. And that's with Vertex on the Shang as well. And yeah, it's nobility only just coming in now actually. Just going to make all of his units even stronger. Here we go, 2-0 to Geo. Maybe Geo's the dark horse of the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Vertex is one of the top players in the tournament by our seeding. So it'll be interesting to see if Geo can pull this out. Let's try and get rid of the flame noises before I quit out there. Geo, he is an AOE2 player. I don't know him. I don't think he's like big enough to be playing in like tournaments that you do. Say my name. But he's about an 1800 ELO AOE2 player, and he's been given AOE1 a game. And his macro seems pretty good. Yeah, he is. Yep, he's got like about 3,000. I'll show you in the next when we load up in the next game his stats, so you can actually see him properly. Capture Rage is still doing the burning bug. Let me just check that off a sec. Ein Moment. I'll go take us back to the draft. Sorry guys, I've muted myself there. I think I accidentally clicked. Hopefully that... Have I been muted for long? No, yeah, when I said +1 armor, I meant that they had 2 before, and now they go get an extra armor to be at 3 now. Sorry about the mute. Hopefully that wasn't for too long. I think I might have just accidentally clicked it when I was like tabbing between screens there, so sorry about that. And let's have a look-see. So I think they both just went for a granary start. Sometimes you do see people try and search for the edge of the map. But yeah, just going for a more typical start here. You don't get the central elephants in this map, but again, it's been interesting that Vertex is like... Geo's gone for the central elephants on the other maps all the time, and Vertex hasn't. He just prefers to seemingly just search around his base. Although this time he's actually going a little bit more far afield, just having a look at that, the coastline. Just trying to figure out the map for the time being, I guess. And nice. He likes to build his houses in little blocks. I guess it's space efficient at the very least. And yeah, it's actually, yeah, Vertex has a pretty easily defendable base here. In fact, both players do. Quite large wood lines. Relatively easy just to connect together when they unlock the small walls in the tool age. Fortunately, Vertex gets aggro from the croc there. This is coastal. You can see the map here in capture age in the bottom right there, so you should always be able to see that. Like I said, Geo on the Chosen, so you're probably going to expect that he's going to have to just go for all in on the land here, because the minnow dock and navy bonuses is just going to be more than the Chosen can really contend with. Saying that, Vertex still hasn't actually gone for a dock yet, and Geo already up on the way. So again, Geo's like very nice eco, getting himself to that tool age as quick as possible. 19 vils, only 16 seconds idle. Where you can see Vertex just waiting for those resources to come in. He's gone for the extra villager. And so he's actually, yeah, villager down already, just from the idle time. Vertex villager, I think, got spotted there. Pretty sure. Well, they're definitely going to know now. So, yes, I'm not exactly sure. It's an interesting search pattern here. Still no dock from Vertex. Maybe that gets added in later. This villager is going to go down. I think Geo was just sort of trying to block that. And Barracks sort of in the middle of the map there. So yeah, obviously Geo doesn't know exactly where his opponent is. Artifact idle could be searching a bit more. Double barracks in for Geo. And forward barracks for Vertex, but the double barracks in slightly earlier. You've got to imagine this is going to be a lot more threatening. I always question the forward barracks a bit. I mean, he'd already committed to it, but I was going to say question it when your opponent is at tool age quite a lot faster than you are, because you can see Geo. It's interesting. Normally you use the second barracks to get the Axer upgrade in. So it's interesting, he just wants to pump those clubbers for now. And archery range forward. And small walls are coming in. So if Vertex can get these up quickly, this can work in his favour. Like I said, he did have a relatively easy to wall map, and he has pretty much walled the whole thing. It's just how much of a nuisance this singular clubber is going to be. Let's get in though. And again, no Axer upgrade in, but he does have the attack and defence upgrades in. Villager trying to break through. So it's just going to be the singular clubman, but sometimes that's all you need. I don't know, he's just trying to... The wall's actually going to go down, so this clubber does actually get in. Axer in here though, and we've got the defense and AXA upgrade, arguably stronger, just because you get a bit more HP than just the storage pit upgrades. But AXA is actually coming in now for Geo. Again, Geo fighting with the villagers. This is one of the things that he doesn't seem to have picked up on too much. It's what I tried to explain in our practice. Is just that +2 armor makes these villagers basically useless in combat. One villager's playing distraction. Singular axe is still in. He's going to try and work on getting through this house here. But Geo in a bit of bother. That's his base hit. A couple of docks do come up now for Vertex. But yeah, he's going to lose a lot of villagers here. I'm not entirely sure why Geo's fighting this. Again, maybe this is just, again, a little bit of lack of knowledge of Area 1. Down to 11 vills. And the axes do get trapped outside. Is that still that singular axeman inside? I don't know if Geo accidentally moved that axer outside. And walls are going to come up just in time. Axes. Yeah, chosen axes obviously with a +5 HP, but Geo calls GG. And so Vertex showing signs of life here. I think this map was always going to be a bit hard for him with the Chosen. He basically had to go in for that all-in rush, so it was a good effort, but Vertex fortunately wasn't too far behind. He was a bit slow to the tool age, but but quick enough that you could get those walls and stuff. This is, I guess, the advantage of playing on the 3-player map instead of the 2-player map. You could argue if the settings were 2-player, then these barracks, these clubbers would be in a lot quicker, and Vertex wouldn't have had the chance to get the walls up there. And again, helped a bit by those quite close wood lines. So it's only really this front bit where he was vulnerable, and that singular clubber was a bit of a nuisance. But yeah, Geo sort of not really respecting the I think it's the leather armor upgrade, isn't it? Yeah, leather armor of infantry upgrade, basically making those axes almost invincible against the villagers. And the villagers only doing 1 damage each. But yeah, we're on to game 4. Signs of life from Vertex. So now we'll have to see where the rest of the series takes us. And so if I take us to the draft again. So we've done Coastal, and that's going to leave Geo with both his 2 maps, and he has Hill Country and Gold Mountain left, and it was a minnow win for Vertex, and a chosen loss. I think Geo probably would have expected just to be at disadvantage with the Minoans, as they have much easier access to the water, although Vertex only really got that in quite later in the game. He did have a few of those fishing ships out. And it looks like it is going to be Hill Country is the next map. So that means I don't have to speculate there. And so Gold Mountain. So it'd be interesting to see what civs do get picked here. I think I'd argue Phoenicians was the stronger of the 2 remaining civs that Vertex has here. And still 2 quite nice civs for Geo here. Hittites are much weaker on the patch with the stronger slingers now, though. Though I've not really seen either player play slingers much. I think Vertex did build a few slingers on the Sahara map, but neither player is really sticking with the slingers that much. It'll be interesting to see if people do pick the Hittite as much. Just going into future drafts, if people do play on the what's it called, the hotfix version of the patch, as yet that not basically losing a large part of their early game bonuses, with the +1 attack to bowman being completely countered by the slingers now, and also the +2 range on scout ships being reduced to +1. It is 2-1 to Geo at the moment. So maybe a little bit surprising, as Vertex again he's seeded number 9. Actually, something I could change now. Seeding number 9, I think it's 25 for Geo. But currently Geo is playing much stronger than a C25 player, I would argue. So it's going to be interesting to see how well he does in the rest of the tournament, because I think he's in a very good spot. I think in fact he's already won 2 series, so I think he's almost guaranteed to get to the next phase of the tournament. Because yeah, the top 3 from each group goes through, and when you play 4 series, that basically means you do only need to win the 2. Okay, next game has started. Don't know if Say My Name's still there, but we can check the ranks this time, because I was actually a little bit quicker. So yeah, you can see Geo here. I mean, not quite 1800, 1722 in AOE2 random map. But you can see he's got a lot of games played. And his return of Rome win rate's pretty nice there. 78% win rate. Currently ranked 17th. And so yeah, definitely a very solid player. Let's get us straight into the capture age view. So it is Carthaginian from Vertex. I think personally myself, I might have picked the Phoenicians here, but Vertex is going to have to win with both civs either way, so maybe you argue it doesn't really matter too much if he wants to win the series, of course. Geo on the Amato, and I have seen him take full advantage of their bonuses in the Tool Age in some of our practice games of Tool, where he likes to go for the archer range and stable in the early Tool Age. Mamatax. But yeah, obviously Calf still has the nice bonus of having plus 50 of each resource at the start of the game. But as I've said, I feel like because the games tend to go slightly longer than they used to do in DE in 1v1s, that the Karth bonus doesn't feel as strong as it used to do. Especially with like all-in slingers being the DE main strat. Having that at plus 50 extra stone was quite nice in the Tool Age, as well as obviously for the wood and food. Plus 50 gold tends to not really be much of a factor at all. As I've said many times, there's only... Geo managed to get 3 boar again at the start. Very nice for him. But yeah, nothing costs gold in the game until you get to the Bronze Age. And a lot of the games didn't used to reach Bronze Age in DE. We tend to see Bronze Age a bit more often, I think, in RTR. Just because there's usually a bit more back and forth in the Tool Age nowadays than they usually used to be. But yeah, again, Geo just going for those middle boar, and I don't think, yeah, Vertex still just like not leaving the area's base, just prefers to get his eco at home. So arguably that's the most interesting wild boar face I've seen in a while. But yeah, you could argue Geo is just getting more resources out of the map by grabbing those middle boar for free. Obviously it does have the idle villager time as he's going in and out. But as I said, in an early game, I think most players would consider that worth. So Vertex find his couple of boar here. A little bit unfortunate, but yeah, he's going for the middle of the map now. Obviously way too late for the central boar. So this might actually just be the forward barracks again for Vertex, not actually searching for any boar. Looks like he's searching with this villager. Let's have a look. A little bit of idle time from Vertex here, so he's actually already one villager behind. And again, that's one thing Geo is very, very good at, is I don't think I've seen this idle TC time above 20 seconds in all of his Stone Ages. Go for the 20 vil up by the looks of it, both players. But again, basically 1 vil behind for Vertex at the moment. And I think he's going to spot the Granary now. And Granary does spot the forward vil. So Geo on this like a hawk. Some players may be distracted by other things that they're doing, like if they were pushing the Gazelle there, and a lot of players sometimes miss that. So Geo very good at spotting that any shenanigans going afoot. Unfortunately, are we going to see the ball this time? I think this is going to be a forward vil, but maybe Vertex does grab that later. Again, Villa just on the run. Defensive barracks here. Do we see the barracks at home? No, so I guess this villager's going to pop down a barracks at some point. Hill advantage was for Vertex, but Geo's wise to that. And is, like I said, going to be tool age for Geo. And 20 seconds advantage there. So he had a little bit of idle time, so actually 29. I think that's probably the worst amount of idle time I've seen him have. It's still not terrible, as Yamato don't actually get any Stone Age bonuses anymore. Is the artifact going to spot this? Ooh, a little bit lucky for Vertex there. But clubbers are already in for Geo, and I suspect this will be I was going to say archery range, but it's actually stable. And we've got Axa and Toolworking coming in again. Maybe, probably. I always favour going for the armour upgrade first, but that's just me. Just archery range, so this archery range is immediately going to get snuffed out by a couple of the scouts, which I'm sure Geo's going to build. I was just saying that he's a little bit short on food at the moment. Yeah, armour upgrade does come in for first for Vertex. And this is why it's a lot better. Just couldn't have so much more survivability against those villagers. But all the upgrades are coming in for Geo now. Club is more just being a nuisance, just waiting for the Axa upgrade to come in, which is +2 attack and plus 10 HP. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for Geo now. Again, he's just trying to fight with the villagers. Vertex maybe not focusing down the villagers quite correctly there. Does lose 2 villagers, does Geo though. Still 2 villagers ahead. Looks like Vertex is just going for the all-in play here. House walls at the back here. Going to stop the Axa for the time being. But yeah, no villager production. So just all in on the offence here. Another villager goes down. A couple of villagers actually. Axa does go down in turn. So I think this... it looks like Geo must have lost another villager to a boar or something as well, because he's got... There's only 5 kills and 6 deaths. Axa does sneak through, and the other Axa is going to kill that house there. So it's going to be a little bit awkward. He's going to delete one of the walls here to get the villagers back in. Villager goes down. Let's have a look at the front though. Bo's already in. He went... Yeah, it's a little bit... I guess I liked the idea of the scouts as Yamato, but he just didn't have the food eco at the time. You can see he's only just got one scout out now. And the Axes... Still a good number of Axes, so the Axe is probably just going to deal with this. So yeah, the stable maybe not the best idea from Geo in the end. As like I said, he built that stable, just didn't have the food eco. Sorry, I punched my mic out there. Try and not do that in the future. And again, the villagers fighting. This is just not what you want to do. Villagers only doing 1 damage each to the Axes. I think this is going to be GG pretty soon. Yeah, the scout play has just not worked out. Even though they are cheaper for the Yamato. GG well walled. I don't know if that was being a little bit cheeky there, but yeah, Vertex managing to bring this back to the 2-2. I don't think he put the archery range down first, and the archery range wasn't quite in range of the stable. Then Geo put down the stable, but like if I go back, let's have a look. So the archery range, oh, the stable actually went down first, but he didn't see it. But like when the stable goes down, you can see like how much is it? I think it's 15% cheaper cavalry for Yamato, so it's the 85 food. So yeah, he just doesn't have the food to build the scout initially. Like, I'm just saying that he gets it in pretty quick, but like he doesn't have the food to just keep making scouts. In fact, he cancels it to get their level out. There we go. That's what I missed that initial bit. But again, just fighting the Axa with the Vils, and when you've got the +2 armor in, the Vils are only going to do that 1 damage. And at the end of the day, I mean that's why a lot of people tend to go archery range, and that's why I thought this was going to be an archery range when I called it, as the early axes are countered by the bows, whereas obviously the axes actually do quite well into the scouts with the bonus damage. Scouts have the extra mobility, obviously, but when you're needing to defend your base, it's not a very good unit to build into axes. So yeah, 2-2, and now we're actually going to go to the full 5 games. So it's been a pretty interesting series. It's one of the closer ones I've seen. I was away over the weekend, so I did miss quite a few games. So there might have been some closer ones over that. But for the games I've cast myself this tournament, it's definitely been one of the closer ones. So back to the draft. So Carthaginians did pull it out, and Yamato lost. So that brings us down to the final map, which is going to be Gold Mountain, between the Phoenicians and the Hittites. And I don't know if you can literally just go full slinger as the Phoenician here and just force the Hittite player out. I'm a big fan of the Phoenicians myself, a very versatile civilization. So I think, considering the changes in the newest patch of the game, I think I personally prefer Phoenicians a little bit. As we just load in here. But Geo, like I said, played a very solid game so far. It's just those axes, he's just been trying to fight him off with the villagers, and you just can't do that in RTR. Well, in Age of Empires 1, full stop really. As soon as that armor upgrade comes in. So yeah, game 5, the decider of a very nice close series. I'll get rid of the bar at the bottom there. We don't need that for the time being. And I was saying earlier that I expected Geo to save the Lakviat for this map, because you have obviously starting berries, but there's also lots of patches of extra berries on this map. And this is obviously Vertex's side of the map, but Geo's, you can see extra berries here, here. And then there's one more, maybe that's it there, a little bit far away, that one. So Lakviat tend to be very strong on this map, just because, well, Lakviat are pretty strong anyway, but they get to take advantage of that berry bonus for a lot longer. Instead, we obviously have, like I said, Hittites for Geo here, and the Phoenicians for Vertex. And like has been said in the chat, and I've said in previous games in this series, the slinger improvements mean the slingers now have 3 pierce armor, which negates the +1 attack for Hittite. So Hittite bowmen no longer be able to do 2 damage to the slingers. Is a very big difference, because if you did manage to just like mass up 9 or 10 Hittite bows with the extra range, they could just pick off slingers, and slingers weren't a very good counter. If you do get the wood cutting upgrade in before your opponent gets stone mining, you can still try and do some micro there, but it's just quite a lot more difficult. And also, yeah, the slinger's doing +1 an extra +1 bonus damage to archers. So I think it was 2 before, and I think it's 3 now that the slingers do. So slingers essentially do 6 damage to the bows, and the bows only do 1 back. If I'm remembering my numbers correctly, which I might not be doing. I've noticed, like, I've checked a few spawns on this, the elephants tend to spawn, at least one of the elephants tends to spawn, like, on this ridge. And unfortunately, Vertex missed both his elephants there, but you see, yeah, there's one on the ridge here for Geo. Looks like it maybe he's going to try and push the gazelle, though. I don't know where the other elephant was. He did pull that in quite a lot earlier, so I don't exactly know where that spawned at. Villager forward already for Vertex, so maybe Vertex has just sort of realised that the early aggression has been sort of working out for him quite well. 30 seconds idle time though from Vertex, I've just noticed. 0 for Geo. So again, Vertex put himself like a villager behind just in that Stone Age. Do these villagers spot each other here? Looks like they're just going to pass them by. Just see this elephant, so that should sort of give him an indication that he's in the right sort of area. Like the spawns aren't like Geo could have spawned somewhere like here. That's not too unfeasible, or even down here. He's going to see the house now. House does not see the villager. So maybe Vertex's first villager does actually manage to get the forward barracks down this time, because in a lot of the other ones he's had to bring another villager forward. Is this the second villager? Is this the archery range villager maybe? Storage pit. Sort of mostly blocks off this choke, but it is still open. I feel like a full slinger rush by Vertex here could be very strong though against the Hittites. Obviously they don't get slinger themselves, and like I said, the Hittite bowmen no longer really able to deal with those slingers. Vertex might still assume that Geo's down here, but maybe there's gold. Okay, villager gets spotted. So there's it's a running theme of Vertex's first villagers getting caught out and getting killed. I was saying that, he doesn't chase it. Barracks does go down this side though. And Geo's, again, up to the tool age much quicker this time. Almost 40 seconds difference. Which is essentially like a 2 villager advantage if Geo manages to get those 2 villagers out straight away. He does have a decent pool of food. No barracks from Geo yet though, unless I'm missing something. I was just checking if he did a forward barracks that I missed. Defensive barracks coming in now. House, funnily enough, blocks up the wall there, clogging the little gap. A lot of villagers sent to wood now for Vertex. He does still have that elephant left, but first clubber comes in for Vertex now. No military units from Geo yet, excuse me. Leather armor coming in now. Pulls the clubber back just for those upgrades to come in. Taking that elephant might be a little bit brave. Still no military units coming out archery range now. And this is where, I mean, oh, it's just GG's out. Oh, wow. Vertex, I mean, he sends his 8 players. There we go. So I guess could have been a little bit of spoiler there. Wow. Just Geo, I don't know, man. He got to tool age a lot faster and just, I guess he just wanted to go straight into those bowmen. Didn't build any clubbers to defend himself with. And as soon as that armor upgrade comes in, delete 2 vills on the house. Delete 2 villagers on the house, would you? I'm not sure what. Oh shit, did he? Oh yeah, he was on 2. Oh my god. I completely missed that. When? Oh my... How did I not notice that? Oh, that's so... What? Oh, that's so unfortunate. I didn't even notice that when it happened. What happened to you? What happened there? What were you trying to do? Delete? Were you just trying to delete the storage bit? I mean, you played very strong earlier in the series. I think the main thing I'd say is you underestimating the value of the armor. Not in this game. Like you're trying to like bone down the axes, but like villagers just once the armor upgrades in, they just can't do anything for axes. It's a little bit of a sad way for the series to go out because Geo played very, very well this whole series. Vertex on that Sahara map as well was like on the back foot the entire time. Oh, that's unfortunate, Geo. But yeah, you still played very, very well. Yeah, like I said in the early series. Like I said, just you need to. One bit of advice is just try not to attack the axes with the villagers once they've got that armor upgraded, because I think it takes like 5 villagers to kill one singular axer, and you'll lose like 3 or 4 villagers doing it. So it's like really not a trade you want to try and do. Yeah, that's. I guess I just wasn't looking at this area. I should have noticed though, because like the villager count evened out. But I guess I was focusing on the clubbers at the front here. And yeah, the no defensive clubbers for Geo meant the bows were just going to be a little bit too slow coming in. So it's a little bit of a sad way to end out the series, but 3-2 to Vertex, and it was the first few games especially were quite enjoyable to watch, especially because quite a few of the series has been pretty one-sided. Like I said, I think Geo is more or less guaranteed to get through to the next round. So he should be like in the second and third seed playoff round before like the rest of the playoff kicks off. So yeah, like I said, a little bit sad at the end, yeah. But other than that, a very nice series. And I guess I'll finish off by showing us what we've got in store the next few days. Let's have a look at the scheduled games. So if I go back here, get my correct tab. I've got like a million tabs over, I always get a little bit confused here. So today is Tuesday. So okay, we've got Doubt versus Morik later today. So that should be quite a good game to watch. Morik obviously very experienced Age of Empires 1 player, but then it's just Doubt, so it should be a pretty epic series. Hopefully Morik puts up a good fight in that against Doubt, because I think Doubt still has not the greatest knowledge of AOE1. So yeah, that should be a pretty good game. I don't know who's going to be streaming this game, casting it. I mean, I don't know if maybe I'll be casting it later, possibly Unrestricted will do. And then let's have a look. Tomorrow I'm playing. Say my name very early in the morning or late in the day, depending on where you are in the world, I guess. Okay, Rez is going to cast that game then. Cool. I think because Geo's already won 2 series, so I think he's pretty much guaranteed to get through 3rd place, even if he loses to Yeti. I'll bring up the table, in fact, in a sec as well. Wikipedia. So yeah, 8:30 GMT, Doubt versus Morik. We've got 4 games tomorrow, although I guess technically this is like just a really late game for a few people. I've got 2 games tomorrow, which I'm very much not prepared for, but I'll try my best. And then I'm against Jesse on Friday, Escobar against Erta, tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, on Thursday. Wednesday's tomorrow. So yeah, just a few games still sort of rolling through. I think there's still quite a few games still to schedule. Oh, we've still got a extra few here. Dow versus Morrick. Just trying to sort of keep up to date. Because it's only on Res that can update these, so it's like these only get updated when he sees what's going on. But yeah, Doubt versus Morrick later today, and quite a few games tomorrow, I guess, is the main thing. And then I'll just finish off by let's having a look at the brackets. Close your eyes if you don't want spoilers. You've been warned now. So yeah, you can see here the green means that they're obviously the first seed. Well, and because green's name is, that means he's guaranteed the top spot, because obviously he's 4-0'd. But the two lighter, sort of yellowish greens, that means that they go through to the lower bracket of the playoff. So you see the round of 24 here. These are all the second and third seeds. So top 3 players go through. And this is Group H. And Geo, yeah, is a 2-0. So it's actually 2-1 now, because obviously Vertex is 1-0. And with Pau, Strelitsy still has to play Vertex, I think. Basically, either Pau or Strelitsy would have to pull off some sort of big upset for Geo to not go through here. I think some of the maps have changed compared to DE. Is what I think he's probably talking about. Geo. The spawns are a lot more regular now. The elephant spawns and stuff in DE were not regular at all. Sometimes you just have way more elephants on your side of the map. So the RTR map spawns are a lot more predictable. There's a lot less randomness to it. So anyway, I think that's gonna, excuse me, I keep getting hiccups. But that's gonna be it for my cast. So I'm gonna hand you over to see if I can find a good stream to send you guys off to.
Right.
Let's mute that real quick. And is anybody streaming? Can't actually I should check the Discord. That's the easiest way of doing it. See if anyone's streaming on Discord. That's Elden Ring. I'd prefer to send you to an Age of Empires RTR player, but unfortunately not many of them stream at this time. Oh yeah, I forgot it was a reverse sweep. I just saw that thing that Geo posted in the Discord. Oop, God. Who can I send you to? Let's have a look at Age of Empires 1, maybe. Tend to be just DE players is the thing. Bongo is streaming. Maybe I'll just send you to Bongo.
Alamos.
Ah, Bongo on DE, traitor. I'll send you over to Bongo. Right, how do I do the raid thing again? I'm figuring it out. I'm getting there, boys. Okay, yeah, so thanks again for watching the stream, and I will catch you guys later, but I'm going to send you over to Bongo. He's currently playing DE, sadly, but he's also been a big advocate for the Age of Empires 1 Return of Rome. It's got to be RTR gamers, man. Can't be DE players. RTR's the future. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you all later.